What's up everyone, my name's Alpha and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Omega Ruby and surprisingly, I haven't done this challenge yet. Today's challenge, we cannot beat Pokemon Omega Ruby Hardcore Nuzlocke using only shiny flying type Pokemon. Surprisingly, I have not done this on my channel at all. So to quickly bring everyone up to speed, it's going to be a hardcore Nuzlocke while I also shiny hunt for every single Pokemon that's going to be on my team. And as well as that, it's going to be a mono type hardcore Nuzlocke, so I can only use flying type Pokemon. It's going to be pretty time consuming and very difficult. On screen right now, you guys will see the rule set for this challenge video. It's going to be a hardcore Nuzlocke. The first Pokemon in each route I have to catch, they have to be shiny and also part flying type. And also each of my Pokemon only has one life, so they do faint at any point, they are dead and I cannot revive them. They go into the PC. Including with that, it's going to be a level cap, so I can't get over level. The highest level for each chapter of the game will be based on the gym leader's highest level Pokemon. And as well, I can't use items inside of battle, I must play on set mode and all that great stuff. And as well, a very fun rule that's not really challenging, each of my Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys in the comments, so thanks so much for leaving a nickname in the previous challenge video. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a future Pokemon, just let me know in the comments by leaving a comment with a nickname. And while you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me that you guys support my channel into the new year, of course. Anyways, let's get into the challenge video itself. So to start off with, we actually want to skip through the first part of the game and head into Petalburg Woods. Here we actually want to get one Pokemon specifically. We want to get ourselves a Wurmple. Now we find ourselves a shiny Wurmple or a Silcoon. Either one works. Now the reason why we got Wurmple over the other ones is because we get rid of the Wurmple encounters in the first few routes. So that means we can actually skip over Wurmple if we do find a shiny one and get the other flying type Pokemon available in the routes. So we'll actually go back into Route 103 and catch ourselves a shiny Wingull, which is amazing. And then from there, we're actually going to head into Route 103, where you're able to find yourselves a Surskit, but it's a 1% encounter, and there's easier ways to find Surskit. I spent about 45 minutes here, did not find anything, so I decided to switch out into Route 105, where we're able to catch ourselves a shiny Taillow in the grass out here, and that will allow me to have 3 Pokemon already on my team. Now we're actually going to head into the route east of Rustboro City to get ourselves our next Pokemon. Now the reason why I'm stockpiling a bunch of Pokemon is the first few gyms are actually pretty difficult, including the Rock and the Electric Gym in the game. So we want to get a bunch of Pokemon just in case we're unable to beat it. Our next Pokemon is going to be a Nincada. Unfortunately, it's not a flying type Pokemon, so I decided to not actually add it to my team. We're just going to have it in the back slots since we already have so many Pokemon anyways. Anyways, the first gym in the game we're going to face off against is going to be Roxanne. Roxanne is the rock type gym leader. I went into this thinking it's actually not going to be too bad as I have a water type in Wingull. And Wingull's water move is pretty strong as it almost one-shots the Geodude. Unfortunately, it goes for a Rock Tomb. I know I'm going to outspeed him, but that's not what I'm worried about. I know I can knock out the Geodude. It's the Nose Pass that's really difficult to handle. I decided to switch out into my Beautifly. Now, Beautifly does have Absorb. It does a little bit of damage, but unfortunately, the Nose Pass does more of a Rock Tomb, obviously. So it's going to 2-shot me with Rock Tomb. So my Beautifly actually unfortunately goes down to the very first gym leader in the game. But my Wingull is actually able to clutch up and get a Water Gun off against Nose Pass to knock him out. And we're able to beat Roxanne at the very least, but we already have a death on the death counter, which is kind of unfortunate. We head into Dewford Island next, which is the next area in the game. We're able to get ourselves an Old Rod and begin fishing out for our next Pokemon. Our next Pokemon is going to be a Magikarp. We're going to shiny hunt for a Magikarp because, well, firstly, shiny Magikarp is really cool. And as you see, there's a bit of editing error on my screen. I put the Gyarados icon way too big. Just because I needed to save the PNG, I forgot I used Gyarados not too long ago. So, yeah, there's just Gyarados on my screen. But we find ourselves a Magikarp added to our team. And we're also going to head into Dewford Cave. There's another flying type Pokemon available to us, which is going to be a shiny Zubat. So we're able to find ourselves a Zubat, and I'm actually very excited to use Zubat. I thought I used Zubat more in ORAS. Apparently I haven't, so we're going to add it to our team. We're going to move out and face off against Brawly next. Brawly is a very easy gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Taillow. Taillow has a really strong move called Wing Attack, which is 60 power, and also a flying type move, which is Stab. So it one-shots the Machop and also one-shots the Makuhita with a crit. And we end up beating Brawly as the second gym leader. So our level cap would jump up to level 20, and that would allow us to evolve our Nincada into a Ninjask. Now it's a bug and flying type, and also evolve our Magikarp into Gyarados, a water and flying type. So they're pretty strong Pokemon. Now before we actually head into the gym that I thought is going to cause the most problem for us, we're actually going to head into the Pokemart. Now in the Pokemart, there's actually too many expensive things. I actually want to buy a bunch of TMs in here. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of money, and they actually connect with the partners of this video. This video is in partnership with Mint Mobile. Now, have you guys ever been a little short on cash because the gas bill or the grocery bill was too high? You had to sacrifice something that you really wanted? Well, the only solution that you could really do in this situation is actually find ways to save money. Now, this partnership with Mint Mobile will actually assist you in doing that. To simply put, Mint Mobile is a virtual network operator that offers premium mobile wireless plans for the low price of $15 a month without sacrificing any coverage, speed, or data. Now, you guys might already know Mint Mobile from their amazing ads, including Ryan Reynolds. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network, and switching to Mint Mobile is super easy. Thanks to their digital eSIM cards, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. You can actually keep your current device and phone number while easily switching to Mint Mobile. And if your device isn't eSIM compatible, Mint Mobile will actually ship personally to you a new SIM card for free. That sounds amazing, and you can do all this with the very first link in the description of this video. So sign up and switch to Mint Mobile using the link mintmobile.com/ERalpha and take advantage of Mint Mobile's deal of buying 3 months and receiving 3 months for free. This offer runs into January 15. Anyways, let's get back into the video itself. So once we actually get the Bodos TM by saving money on our Mint Mobile devices, we're actually going to head into the next gym in the game. We're going to face up against Watson next. Watson's the electric type gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my ninjas against his Magnemite. I'm actually pretty worried that his team is a lot stronger than me, so I decided to use Mud Slap with my ninjas since I have no other ground moves besides Bodos on my Gyarados. Surprisingly enough, I'm able to two-shot the Magnemite with my ninjas and with Mud Slap, and then his next Pokemon will be a Voltorb. He's not going to be able to one-shot me, so I decided to stay in, use Mud Slap. Hoped he missed some rollouts, but unfortunately he lands 2 rollouts, and I have to switch out into my Gyarados next. Now Gyarados is actually pretty decent here. It intimidates, lowers the attack set of the Voltorb, so I take a rollout pretty easily, and then he finally misses a rollout, and I'm able to Bodos, knock out the Voltorb in one shot. His next Pokemon will be a Magneton. Now I can easily just go for a Bodos, and I'm pretty sure one-shots it since it's 4 times weak to ground moves, so I'm able to actually beat down Watson pretty easily. And I was kind of worried that I might have to lose a Pokemon or 2, but Ninjas and Gyarados end up destroying down Watson and actually saves us a lot of trouble. Now most of my Pokemon are evolved at this point, and I decided to go out into the grass over here and search out for our next shiny Pokemon, our final member of our team actually. We're going to search out for a shiny Skarmory, which actually looks... the shiny Skarmory has grown on me. It's taken me a long time to finally accept it, that it's actually pretty cool. Do I kind of consider the original form of Skarmory a little better? I actually do like Skarmory's normal colors a little better, ironically enough, because this one's, you know, it's not as poppy. I like the poppy colors of the Pokemon, as that's the reason why I love Gyarados. And we're going to catch our Skarmory and then face off against Maxi on Mount Chimney. From there, once we clear through Maxi, we're able to face off against the next gym leader in the game. We're able to face off against Flannery next. Flannery is going to be the fire type gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against her, well, using obviously my Gyarados, because I really love using Gyarados. Gyarados is able to Bodos into the Slug mode, knock him out in one shot. I think I forgot, I got the soft sand, but forgot to put it on my Gyarados, so it actually could have been even easier with my Gyarados and Bodos, as I'm able to 3-shot down basically the Torkoal. It's gonna heal up, kind of annoying, but then I remember I have Dragon Rage and it can knock out everything at this level. So yeah, Dragon Rage ends up knocking out the Torkoal, and then we're gonna one-shot down the Numel, and we end up beating down Flannery pretty easily, as you can see. Now from there, I mean, there's not much for us to do, as we're going to face up against Norman next. Norman is going to be the normal type gym leader in the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Pelipper, and Pelipper in ORAS or any Gen 3 games, I do only remember Pelipper for this move only, which is going to be Protect, which is a huge move to just counteract Slacking entirely, because it just protects, avoid his attacking turn, attack him while he's on his true turn. Very cowardly way to beat down Norman, but it is a strategy, you know. Pelipper is pretty good. I'm able to also knock down the Vigoroth. Pelipper is very tanky too. It also survived Retaliate from the Vigoroth pretty easily. That's full power Retaliate too. From there, with his final Slacking, I'm able to just obviously Protect, Water Pulse, Protect, just end up knocking out his Slacking pretty easily, as we're able to beat down Norman, and that should do it. From there, our Golbat actually finally evolves into a Crobat, which I'm waiting for. It took so long. I thought I was going to get it before Norman, but apparently I got it right before Winona. From there, we're going to face up against Winona herself. She's going to be the 6th gym leader in the game, and we're going to start the battle off against her using my Gyarados. Gyarados has an ice move, so it's pretty good in this situation since she's a flying type gym leader. I'm actually unable to hit the Swallow because it starts using Double Team, but eventually once it hits me, my Gyarados kind of, you know, snaps into it. Finally knocks out a Swellow with Ice Fang. She sends out her Pelipper next, which I don't really have a great answer to. I switch out to my Crobat because Crobat learns Poison Fang and gets him nice poisoned up, and then I can just go for like a Fly or something. Eventually knocks him out because Fly is like 90 power, does a lot of damage as I'm able to knock out the Pelipper. Her next Pokemon will be a Skarmory, which I don't have too many answers for as well. I do have a special attacker in my Pelipper, actually the only special attacker, as I'm able to just Surf, knock out the Skarmory pretty easily. And her final Pokemon will be her Ace Altaria as I go out into my Gyarados. Gyarados has Ice Fang, it's able to just knock him out. I get paralyzed and all that, but she's unable to do too much damage to me as I'm able to Ice Fang and knock out the Altaria as we end up beating down Winona. Now we move out into Lilycove City. Since there's actually a lot of areas we skipped over, there's a lot of other flying type Pokemon that we're unable to use because our team is just pretty good. I mean, nothing's actually been defeated in a long time, except the Beetlefly at the beginning. I'm even using my Gyarados really recklessly as I'm able to just beat down May without looking at my screen. I think I was doing something else, but that could have been really bad if I lose my Gyarados in this fight. From there, we're going to clear through the Magma Hideout, as you see, just using my Pelipper, surfing down, one-shotting a 1v5 easily. And then from there, we can move out into Moss Deep City and face off against Tate and Liza. Now, the love cap says 45, but in this situation, you actually want to be a little bit lower because there's a few more battles after this gym fight, and it'll cause you to be over level for the next gym, so you want to be careful with that. As well, Tate and Liza only has 2 Pokemon, and they're very weak. They're Solrock and Lunatone. I'm able to Surf and then Aqua Tail, knock out the Lunatone, and then double attack into the Solrock as we're able to beat down Tate and Liza. Easy, I mean, just easy work for us. From there, we're actually go out into Lilycove City next. Lilycove City, I wanted to get the TM for Substitute, but I completely forgot where it was. As I go out into the department store in the TM departments, there's some good TMs. Forgot they actually sell Stone Edge in the TM shop, but unfortunately I don't remember where Substitute is, so I just kind of left it alone. We're gonna face off against Maxi next. Maxi isn't too difficult. I'm just using the same Pokemon. I'm using Gyarados to do everything in this situation. Gyarados is able to knock out the Mightyena pretty easily. I mean, don't want to learn Hydro Pump and then survive an explosion. No, I just knocked out the Weezing. Then I knock out the Crobat, and I know his last Pokemon will just be a Camera Up. Ironically enough, I was kind of scared if I missed Aqua Tail, it would have been pretty bad for me. I switched out to my Pelipper as he goes for a Rock Slide. Doesn't even knock down my Pelipper at all, as I'm able to Surf and knock him out pretty easily. And from there, we can move out and face off against Primal Groudon. Now, Primal Groudon is not too difficult. As you can see, I think it forgot Gyarados was a flying type. It goes for Precipice Blades as I'm able to Earthquake him twice. I take in the Lava Plume pretty easily, even though it was a crit. Even in the sun, I'm able to Earthquake and knock out Groudon and end up beating Primal Groudon. Super simple. From there, we're going to face off against the 8th gym leader in the game. We're going to face off against Wallace next. Wallace is going to be the water type gym leader in the game and the final gym leader. We're going to start the battle off against him using a new strategy I employed. This is why I wanted to Substitute, because I want to Substitute in front of the Love Disc. But I decided to go for a Swords Dance and then Baton Pass using my Ninjask into my Gyarados. Eventually, he's going, he gets confused and all, but he's getting Baton Pass into my Gyarados. And that will allow me to go for, it actually snaps out of confusion the first turn. And then I go for an Earthquake and knock out the Love Disc in one shot. His next Pokemon is going to be a Milotic as I 2-shot him with Earthquake. I'm just going to spam Earthquake at this point. Earthquake's such a broken move. 100 power, no drawbacks at all. From there, I'm able to one-shot the Celio because I'm +2. Earthquake into the Whiscash. It survives, but it doesn't survive a second one. I'm also able to knock out the Seaking as I'm able to also learn Dragon Dance. So I got my own setup move, which is fun. That's not broken at all. From there, we beat down Wallace, get the 8th gym badge in the game, and then move out into Victory Road. Victory Road isn't too difficult at all. As you can see, I spam use my Gyarados and my Pelipper. We end up beating it pretty easily. We also beat down Wally super easily, wholesome fun. From there, we're going to face off against the Elite Four itself. The Elite Four can consist of 5 very strong trainers and the end game, of course. But we're going to start off our Elite Four challenge. We're going to face off against Sydney. Sydney's a Dark type Elite Four member, and he's going to start the battle off against us using a Mightyena. I start the battle off against him using my Ninjas. I go for a Swords Dance. I knew he's going to use Swagger on me. I kind of hoped he kind of didn't do that. I actually Baton Pass into my Crobat because I've been using Gyarados too much. But really bad play as I'm able to just hit myself in confusion so many times. I swear he had Inner Focus, right? No, Inner Focus prevents flinching, doesn't prevent confusion. Never mind. I had to correct myself mid-sentence. I was like, wait, he has Inner Focus, but Inner Focus is flinching. But anyways, I go back into my Ninjask because my Crobat is useless. I go for an X-Scissor and knock out the Mightyena pretty easily. His next Pokemon will be an Absol. I get a speed boost anyway, so I know X-Scissor will knock him out. His next Pokemon will be a Shift Tree. My defenses did get dropped, so I don't want to stay in as I go out into my Gyarados against his Shift Tree. I'm able to just Dragonite and an Ice Fang to knock out the Shift Tree. His next Pokemon will be a Sharpedo. I outspeed him and Earthquake him to knock him out. And of course, Gyarados can save the day as he Ice Fangs and knocks out the Cacturne. As we end up beating down Sydney, the first Elite Four member. Now we move on and face off against Phoebe next. Phoebe is going to be the Ghost type Elite Four member of the game, and we're going to start the battle off against her using my Ninjask. The Ninjask is going to Sword Dance in front of the Dusclops. I Baton Pass into my Gyarados. Did not know Curse actually goes with the Baton Pass, so that was a big oopsie. So my Gyarados is now cursed. I go for a Waterfall against him. I knock him out at least, and then his next Pokemon will be a Dusknoir, which I don't want to stay in. Obviously, I might just die from him. I go out to my Skarmory. I take a Thunder Punch really easily, and also a Future Sight. So Skarmory is just a beast. I go for a Roost against him. He goes for a Thunder Punch against me. I end up knocking him out with Night Slash. I know. I waste more of Phoebe's healing items, which is, you know, a lot better for me. I'm able to knock out the Dusknoir. Her next Pokemon is going to be a Sableye. I roost up in front of her. I'm trying to get some attack boost with Metal Claw at the very least, but eventually I'm just going to go for the kill, knock out the Sableye obviously. Now unfortunately I'm low on HP, so I decided to go out to my Crobat against her Bayonets. Unfortunately it gets Will-O-Wisp, so everything's getting counter. So I decided to go out into my Pelipper, and finally Pelipper is able to just surf, knock out both Bayonets, and we end up beating down Phoebe. A very long and drawn out battle, I'm not going to lie. From there, it's going to be very quick battles back to back, as we're going to start the battle off against Glacia, the next Elite Four member, with my Ninjask. You know, I'm pretty sure I could survive one Ice move. She actually sets up Hail with her Glalie first, as I go for a Sword Dance, and then I go for a Baton Pass, take an Ice Shard very easily, and then go out into my Gyarados. I know Gyarados is going to sweep, as I could just go for a Waterfall and knock out the Glalie. Her next Pokemon will be a Frostlass, as I'm able to Waterfall and knock her out as well. Knock out the next Frostlass, so there's 3 Pokemon already down. Her next Pokemon will be a Walrein, as I 2-shot her with Earthquake. That is crazy. And then 1-shot the Glalie with a Waterfall. In real time, that probably took like a minute or two to beat down Glacia. So we end up beating Glacia, and now we move on into the next Elite Four member. Drake's going to be the Dragon type Elite Four member of the game. We're going to start the battle off against him using my Ninjask. And Ninjask obviously goes for Sword Dance, go Burr, and I just keep setting up Sword Dance until it wants to hit me. Eventually I get 2 Sword Dance and 2 speed boosts up, and I'm able to go out to my Gyarados. I can outspeed everything and one-shot everything with Ice Fang. Hopefully it doesn't miss, and luckily enough it doesn't. I'm able to knock out the Altaria and Salamence, avoid Hurricane, and then knock out the Flygon. At this point, Waterfall should have been enough to knock him out, but I go for the risky Ice Fangs, knock out both the Flygons, and why didn't I go for an Earthquake against the Kingdra? But eventually I am able to go for an Earthquake and knock out the Kingdra. And we end up beating down Drake a little more time than Glacia, you know, a whole 30 more seconds. But from there, we're going to face off against the champion of the game. We're going to face off against Steven Stone next. Steven Stone is going to be the champion of Hoenn, and he's going to start the battle off against us using a Skarmory. I go for a Pelipper against him. 2 Surfs where I actually end up knocking out the Skarmory and avoid any hazards on the floor. His next Pokemon will be an Aggron. I go for a Water Pulse against him, and I take a Stone Edge. And I'm thinking back to myself, why did I do that? I want to save more Pokemon for my runs. Even though it's not going to be a flawless run, it basically is at this point, as I'm able to Metal Claw into the Aggron using my Skarmory to knock him out. And then for some reason he sends out his Cradily next against me, and I'm like, I don't think this thing could do anything to me. This is actually my best answer against Cradily. I even get an attack boost off against him, and I just kept going for Metal Claws, and 2 Metal Claws will knock out the Cradily. His next Pokemon will be a Claydol, as he sets up Reflect. That's fine. I have Roost to recover my HP. He only has extra Sensory to do damage against me, as I'm able to just whittle him down until Reflect falls, and then Night Slash will knock him out with a crit. I don't think the crit matters, but his next Pokemon will be an Armadillo, which I know this thing actually can't hurt me at all. It goes for a Crush Claw, does not do enough damage. He lowers my defense though, so I go for a Steel Wing, trying to raise it back up. Doesn't work. And then his next and final Pokemon will be a Mega Metagross. This thing hits pretty hard with Giga Impact, but he has to recharge, and I don't know why I didn't go for a Roost. So I have to go for a Night Slash against him again. Lucky enough, he goes for a Giga Impact, and it doesn't knock me out. I'm at 10 HP, and I go for a Night Slash. I crit him. I end up knocking out the Mega Metagross, and we end up beating down Steven Stone. Now, unfortunately, we have 1 death on a death counter, so this is not going to be a flawless run, but we do actually end up beating the challenge with only Flying type Pokemon, with basically our first team. Like, all these Pokemon we caught within the first area or 2, besides Skarmory, and we cleared through the entire region of Hoenn. Like, taking back, Swallow did more in the beginning than actually after the second gym. You know, after we beat Brawley, we didn't use Skarmory ever again, so that's kind of funny. Unfortunately for Swallow, it just got over eclipsed by Crobat. You know, Crobat does his job a lot better, and everyone else has their own job. It's kind of, you know, kind of sucks for my Swallow. I really want to use Swallow more, but it didn't learn too many moves anyways, so it wasn't a big loss, as I'm able to just beat everyone with Gyarados essentially. But that will be the end of the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to Mint Mobile. If you guys can, please click the link and switch to Mint Mobile. Anyways, my name is Ben Alpha. Hope you all had a great day. If you guys can, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.